Well, new tonight, President Biden announced a reversal of a Trump administration ban involving immigration. Last year, then President Trump implemented new rules that blocked green card applicants and temporary foreign workers from entering the U.S. It came at the same time he closed shared borders with Mexico and Canada to limit the spread of COVID and also as a way to protect jobs. President Biden today revoked those moves. This news comes as illegal border crossings are up in the last few months, according to data from the U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Joining us now to talk about these issues and developments is Esther Valdez, a principal attorney who represents immigrants in court. Esther, thanks so much for being with us. We certainly appreciate it.
Thank you, Rob.
Give me your sense, your top line reaction to what President Biden did today in terms of reversing a few more of the Trump-era immigration policies.
It's good politics for Biden to be able to meet the promises he made to his voters and supporters. However, the way it's playing out is bad policy. I'm here in San Diego where I practice immigration law, and I've practiced for almost 2 decades. And we're seeing a border surge that's bordering on chaotic. Not only did he go back on the migrant children being placed in detention centers, but also he's trying to undo a lot of policies that help stem the flow, not only about illegal immigration, but human trafficking, child exploitation, and the drug trade. We have to not just see this myopically, but also see the ramifications of having a more open border policy, especially when Title 42 has not yet been revoked. Title 42, of course, being the border closures because of the pandemic. So we're seeing a slew of rapid changes, which are good for his base, but politically and policy-wise, they're not necessarily playing out the way I believe the Biden administration hoped for them to play out.
What would you suggest he do at this point? What are your ideas that you think would work better?
Allowing Congress to vote on his legislation. I thought the legislation was well thought out, well planned out. It lacks some factors in terms of law enforcement, which is vital for a lot of the southern states. And in order to engender support throughout the Republican base in both the Senate and the House. However, if he's able to manufacture a wide swathe of support, I think the pivotal key issue is going to be the support for DACA amnesty, those being the childhood arrivals who entered the United States through no fault of their own, and they've lived here believing they are U.S. citizens. However, a lot of them, upon discovering them, now are being able to apply for DACA work permits, which allow them to work and live in the United States without voting. I think that is the best portion of this Biden resolution, but really he needs to allow what happened under the Trump administration to be handled also in courts. We also saw one of the federal judges revoke his 100-day ban on deportation because the Biden administration was not able to articulate why he would then circumvent immigration law, which has been the law of the United States for 30 years, in not deporting individuals who have exhausted their legal remedies in court and in appeals.
And so let me ask you a broader picture question. This immigration reform issue has been around for decades. No president from either party ever seems to get it right. In a nation built by immigrants, why is this such a tough issue?
It's a tough issue because politics are involved. Like myself, I am the daughter of Mexican immigrants. The Latino voting bloc is becoming even stronger every decade as the Caucasian counterparts of the voting bloc age out. The Latino voting bloc is not only younger, but we care about immigration. 80% of some of the school districts in urban areas are the sons and daughters of immigrants. So we're seeing that not only is it a population issue, a political issue, but also the companies that are involved also hire labor. The vast majority of the essential workers that were frontline workers in manufacturing and restaurant and construction industries in many of our metropolitan cities throughout the nation are Latino workers. And that's why the Biden is very smart to be able to handle this within the 100 days. It is a promise that he is keeping. It just needs to be a little bit more broader based and honing in on the law enforcement aspect, as well as the aspect of the judiciary involved. We have a 1.3 million case backlog in immigration courts that needs to be handled before we start admitting approximately 25,000 new refugees that are currently sitting at the Mexican side of the U.S. border. So those would be my suggestions for the Biden administration to act upon and be able to do what no other administration has done, to have a compassionate, reasonable, and well-articulated immigration reform with bipartisan support.
Esther, appreciate your time and your opinions tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rob.